how much maple syrup would it take to flood the city of Chicago? Stick around for the sticky answer. All right, picture this. You're walking through the streets of Chicago when suddenly, instead of Lake Michigan, a giant wave of maple syrup starts pouring in. Completely normal thought, obviously, but that got me wondering, just how much maple syrup would it take to flood the entire city? Let's break this down, one sticky gallon at a time. Chicago covers an area of about 231.7 square miles, which translates to 6.46 billion square feet. But we're not just covering the ground, we're flooding the city. So how deep are we going? Let's say we're going waist deep in syrup, which is about 3 feet high across the entire city. That means we need to fill 6.46 billion square feet with 3 feet of syrup. Time for the math. To find the total volume of syrup needed, we multiply the area by the flood height. 6.46 billion square feet times 3 feet equals 19.4 billion cubic feet of syrup. Now, let's convert that into something a bit more pourable. 1 gallon of maple syrup takes up 0.13 cubic feet, meaning we need to divide 19.4 billion cubic feet by 0.13 to find out how many gallons this would take. The answer: 149 billion gallons of maple syrup. That's 750 times the entire global production of maple syrup, which is only about 200 million gallons per year. So even if we stole every drop of syrup made on Earth, it would still take over 7 centuries of non-stop syrup production just to get enough. And that's before we even figure out how we'd transport all of it into the city, or what would happen when Chicago turns into the world's biggest ant magnet. So unless you have 1,000 years worth of syrup stockpiled, an army of pancake lovers, and absolutely zero regard for sticky consequences, this is one flood that's probably never happening. But hey, at least now you have a fun fact for your next breakfast conversation. Follow for more ridiculous calculations and let me know in the comments. What's the weirdest thing you've ever put syrup on?